Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this from. Apologies in advance. This isn't going to be edited. I just wanted to go through a trade I took, which was my first ever trade. Oh, it was GBP USD, I remember now. Okay, so the first live trade I took, it was on my demo account. My plan is to do 3 months profitable before I move on to buying a funded account. I'm looking to get an FTMO funded account, but in the meantime, I want to hammer down my strategy and my confidence in that strategy, which is essentially ICC/CCT, indication correction continuation. We're looking for candles to go in a certain direction and then reverse, and then that's when we kind of hop on. So if I go into my higher time frame that I work on, which is the daily, where did I take this trade again? On TradingView. I don't know all the quick commands and whatnot, but anyways, pretend this isn't here. Actually, can we? So going into that day where I took the trade, yeah, okay, I understand now. We saw that there was bullish momentum in the last few days. I saw this. This was last Thursday, so I would have done my marking up on this evening. I would have seen that. Okay, boom. You know, this is where the candle. This is where we want the candle to be to move to, which would have been today, because it's the last point of interest that we could have marked, and so we were looking. So yeah, going into the day, we were just looking, and as you can see, the price didn't exactly even hit my point of interest, which is a requirement for me. I need the price to hit the point of interest. However, I did see during the day that the price did hit this level a few times. This included yesterday. And it didn't raise above this price again. Every time the price would reach this level, roughly, it'd get rejected heavily. And I saw this and I was like, okay, you can see here, you can see here, you can see here. The price never went above this level. And so once it got here again, I saw this large displacement candle going up to this level and it stopped here. And I was wondering, I was wondering why did the price stop there? I was wondering. And it started rejecting. I started looking back and I was like, oh, okay. So there's this rough range here. Give me a second. There's this rough range here where the price is just like, nah. Where the sellers are just like, nope, we don't want you here. Even though the price reached here the day before, the sellers looks like they were capturing this specific area here and they were like, nah, we don't want you to push back. The buyers, you guys can just stay there. So this candle was here, and then I saw the price reverse, and I was like, okay, there might be potential for a setup here. Fair value got put here as well. I wanted to wait for this candle specifically. I wanted another strong displacement candle because it didn't reach my point of interest. Of course, when we're going and when I'm entering a trade, I'm looking for a strong displacement and a strong bounce off the point of interest. But it didn't reach it, obviously. So I wasn't expecting too much for this candle to happen, another strong displacement from the sellers. But if it did happen, that's when I knew it'd be go time. And as you can see, I entered the trade here. 1.1 restore reward. I did do it on MetaTrader 5. I didn't take it on TradingView because that's where I have my demo account on, and that's where I imagine I'm going to be taking a lot of my trades on my phone. The strategy, and I mean not strategy, but my plan is to use TradingView on my laptop to analyze, to mark up, and all of this, and then we go on to MT5 to actually take the trade. So as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see that. That's the trade. If it doesn't show up, well, I'll just post an image on screen. But this demo account has started off with $3,000. We made $84.73 through that trade, 1-to-1 risks. Risks 0.5 lots, I'm pretty sure, because it didn't necessarily. I rank my setups in terms of grades. So there's Z grade, there's Z grade. There can only be a Z grade trade. A plus, A minus, A, B plus, B sub, B minus, and then C. I don't take a trade that's B or below. Like B plus is like the maximum I'm willing to go. Here, I'd rank this as a. Actually, I have a notion. Here we go. So this is where I put it down. We marked it as an A grade setup. First demo trade ever. There's a strategy. I basically just copied this off of Crampton Capital. He's pretty much my inspiration. What can I say, man? It was an A grade setup because it wasn't necessarily a Z grade. Neither was it an A plus because of the point of interest and what happened there. But we did get strong displacement. We did get a very quick reaction, which is what I'm looking for. Those are my top two when it comes to actually entering a trade. So if the price doesn't bounce back within a specific amount of time for me, I don't take that trade. And on a 15 minutes, that counts as 15 to an hour. Basically, if the price spends any more than an hour outside of the point of interest before coming back and rejecting, I'm not going to take that trade. I've done too many back tests, and I've looked at the market enough times to realize that the amount of times that it still comes back and you're able to make a trade is never enough compared to the amount of times that it just consolidates or it just doesn't do well after that. And the same goes for displacement. If the candles aren't strong in the displacement like this, I'm not going to take the trade. I'm going to be really honest. And I feel that this would come across in my back testing. I do a lot of back testing. Where's my FX replay? I feel like this could. I'm still, this is my. I'm doing a whole year. I should make a whole video on this, but as you can see, I feel I've taken 14 trades. I lost one today, so that doesn't count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've taken 15 trades across, 5-6 months, and I've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus another one that I won, but it didn't. So 11 out of 16, 68% winning percentage. Okay, so it's reasonable, and obviously it's worked for my first trade that I've taken on the live trade. So I'm just gonna stick with this. The only major frustration I have is that like the frequency of the trades. Like when I was getting into the strategy, then when I was learning about it, I believed that there would be setups every single day, and to an extent that it's close because the price usually hits the point of interest. However, what happens after that is completely, once there's so many variables, it needs to react well, it needs to come back instantly. So most times it hits the point of interest and something happens where I'd be like, yeah, I can't take the trade here, but and I don't end up taking it. So yeah, that's really the only thing frustrating wise. I still have another 3 months. So this was Friday 9th of January. I got until the end of March essentially to keep on polishing my skills, keep on just keep on improving and gaining confidence, because I feel like those are the type of things that I really need in terms of this strategy and in terms of continuing to trade and get better during this demo account period time. Hopefully I can continue being profitable. It looks like I don't want to hope too much, but it looks like there could be an opportunity to trade tomorrow. There could be a setup if the price continues to go back. You know what, mate? Hopefully by 3 months' time, I'm better on TradingView, so I can just operate smoothly on here. But yeah, as you can see, this is today's candle. There wasn't any setups today because, as you can see, like, what am I supposed to do with this? This goes across all of my pairs that I'm looking at. Like, bro, what's going on here? It didn't really give me anything for today. Otherwise, I would have been looking and checking the markets. But today, I just did a back testing session, which went frustrating, bro. Let me not even get into it. But today and yesterday's back testing sessions were just so long. Yeah, so what more can I say? That's my first trade. I was really happy with this, and I was really proud of this because it was the second to last day before I headed home, headed back to university, and I was, really locked in over those last few weeks in order to get set up what was really frustrating was because of where I was at, I couldn't really see setups and I'd often miss them. Even till now, I have a lot of friends who are currently trading and they probably have different setups. Actually, I have another friend who I put onto Sai and he's made 400 in the last few days. I'm so happy for him, bro. Like that's sick, genuinely. And I'm just hoping I can get to the same sort of levels once I continue to understand because he follows the more 1 hour higher time frame and 5 minute execution. I'm more on the daily time frame and the 15-minute execution because it just makes the most sense to me. My only problem is finding setups and having like the market doesn't really care. Like, it doesn't care at all about what I want. It doesn't care about my thing. It doesn't care about all of that. Let me full screen this actually. Let's go back on OBS. There we go. That's nice. You can see my nice handsome face. No, but as I was saying, it doesn't. Will this? Am I even? Can you hear me? Okay, we're gonna have to check and hope afterwards, and I hope you can hear me. But I'll finish this quickly, anyways. The market doesn't really care about feelings, what I want. It just does what it does, and I'm just gonna have to be looking out and continuing to watch. Hopefully, I can enter a trade tomorrow. Hopefully, the market conditions line up. But if not, what can I do? Nothing to get frustrated over. I'll just continue to work on my strategy. But as you saw there, that was my first trade. Really proud, and I'm hoping for more. I just want to keep this active, this channel. I don't know what I've just done there. There we go. But I just want to keep it active and just continue to improve my skills, my confidence, and document my journey so far. So there you go.